Good morning, world, from Camiguin Island, Philippines. I've been asking to do some longer videos here, so we'll do a reverse tour of the canals. This little beach here is really nice and sandy. Anything farther down gets a little rocky. From here on out to Yumbing, there's some nice sand beaches. Anyhow, we'll get going. I might have to go to Yumbing to load this because my internet's so slow. I live 300 meters from the road down on the beach in a little barangay called Kabooms. Very peaceful, but to get fiber or cable internet down there is 25,000 pesos, and I just rent the place. Here's the one canal that's not protected yet. Only the walls are so high it's hard to get the scooper in there, so we're going to be putting it way upstream in the dry part. It's going to be a dry Kaboom. I got a new design going on that. So anyhow, I came here in 2007 to this island, fell in love with it. I'm an ex-mountain bike racer. This is nothing but mountains. 7 volcanoes on this island, more than any other island in the world. And recently, I was able to get hold of some manpower called Tupad, sponsored by Dole Pineapple Company, and they help poor people that haven't had a job from the lockdown and stuff by employing them for doing this cleanup, sweeping and cutting and stuff, and that's about all they did. So I was able to find the manager, and I got a hold of her, and she sent me 4 workers the first morning, and then 20 the next, and I was able to get some major cleanups going, although they didn't provide them with gloves, tools, sacks, or nothing, so I had to do all that, but it was well worth it. And here is our very first Kaboom that was installed, I think, the end of July, sometime there. It's been doing well. It's the original design. Just tires and bottles, no protector panels on top, only has skirts on the sides and the capture area here, and then we scoop it out with our little basket net from the capture area and place it up here and segregate it, bag it. LGU takes it up to the MRF, just process it, and the rest to the dump, the landfill. There's really not much here, a few diapers and that. We just cleaned this out the other day, but as you can see, not much escapes. I don't know where that bottle came from. It had to come from the sea because nothing gets by this ugly little contraption. It did look better when I first put it in, but we did a major cleanup on the other side, 3 or 4 days. That was like 2 meters deep of trash for decades we dug out of there, and we had this whole thing filled with 70 bags, 70 sacks, as large as these here. You couldn't believe the trash that came out of there. Then we'll go down to my favorite Kaboom. We called her Lady Kaboom because I put it next to the governor's house, and Mayor Baby here used to have pink t-shirts all the time, so I put some pink UV protector panels on top of the bottles. But what I really like to see going on now, you talk about education, everybody says education, well, they have to have a place to take it. Right here on the corner, it's going to happen. I have a meeting coming up, the city council trying to push through single stream recycling, and if they don't do that, there's no use doing any more cleanups. Right now, the people downtown here have no place to take their trash. They just set it out, and a haphazard schedule of collection goes on. Usually the dogs spread it around before they even get to picking it up. So anyway, we're coming up on my 3rd Kaboom. It has later advancements. I put a full-length skirt. Chain was too expensive, so I got down to the beach and I drilled holes in some coral, and that's coral weighted skirt. It'll probably outlast the chain. And it's been doing very well. The only problem with this canal was the vertical edges. I didn't know how I was going to go and keep the boom tight up against the edges. So what I did was get a big monster tire leveraged over the top of the lower tire, and it seems to have been working. This one here is recently cleaned out too. You can kind of tell the difference just even from here. Well, they didn't bag up some of what we took out. She does a good job, but in a perfect world, if I had all the money in the world, I would put 2 2-inch poles, metal poles going down the sides, about 2-3 inches from the sides, and a slip collar on, and the boom would raise and lower with the tide. But you can see the panels kind of faded a little bit, but we'll clean this one out in a couple days. But it does a very good job. The beaches in front of here have been considerably cleaner, stopping all this from town. Yeah, we need some education, but I'd love to be able to get the single stream recycling cage in over there. Very simple. Recyclables one side, landfill the other. Then you can do the education. Bring the flyer to the people, explaining the new simple system, and strict fines for not adhering to it and just dumping in the canals. But trying to get anything done here is like pulling teeth sometimes. Well, we're off to the King Kaboom, and then I'll even give you a tour around town. It's a nice little town. This is the main capital of this island, Camiguin. There's about 11,000 population here. It's the most polluting little town of the whole island. Well, I think Sagay is a little bit. Katarman's probably next. Then they got Ginsilliban and Mahinog. There's only 5 municipalities here. I could have put this in 720p and probably loaded faster, but I don't got my rock steady on that. So. And they had a little disco party here to celebrate those that were vaccinated. The unvaccinated go away. Yeah, it's even happening here, but I won't go into that story. Anyway, this one here was my first fabric boom, and it's been protected since June. There hasn't been any trash getting by here at all for many months. But the fabric boom deteriorates in the sunlight, so we put a 52 tire King Kaboom, and it has been doing very well, except the UV panels are popping out of